Blog Talk Radio.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, from Covington, Oklahoma, at South Monroe Street, school is now in session with your aunt. And here is your teacher and host, Sean Stopp.
As the great Yes Band would say, one down, one to go, another town, one more show. Good evening, Blog Talk Radio guests, to you're on. Class is now in session. I'm Sean Stopp. You may remember me as one of the background extras in the TV show F Troop. Welcome to episode number 5, with numero uno month already archived and one show away from reaching the halfway mark of season 1. And I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, kids of this class, I was sampling this show with the intention of only doing a few. And, well, after getting my feet wet and liking it, here I am at the halfway mark of a season already down, or at least one show away from the halfway mark. For starters, how about some extra special mucho gracias to my Fantastic Four for making last month successful. Leotis Hall, UWE Superstar Fuel, Global Communications Jamie Phillips, and INTV's very own Jeremy Scott from last weekend. And Jeremy, thank you so much for being on the show last week. My extra cool brothers from another mother. A couple updates on a few of our guests, by the way. Leotis Hall's video game is coming along just fine. And I promise I'm going to be promoting the ever-loving monkey snot out of it upon its release. And here's a cheap plug, but a good one. United Wrestling Entertainment will be coming up on Saturday, May 19th at the Cherokee County Fairgrounds, Building Number 2. First error, hopefully last. In Tahlequah, Oklahoma. In the Quah, the UWE will be holding its most dangerous event of the year, No Holds Barred. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 6. And many, many, many thanks to Global Communications for sponsoring my son's Covington T-ball team, appropriately named the Little Rascals. And the Rascals will take the field on Monday, May 14th at Covington Softball Field as they will face Pioneer. Okay, class. I said class was in session. Before we bring out our talented guests, if you'd like to contact us for any questions, unfortunately for some complaints, you Grandview doozies out there, because I have gotten quite a few. Yeah, I love you guys too. Compliments. How about compliments? That'd be nice. I've been getting quite a few of those. Just drop us a friendly hello. Feel free to do so at youronbtr@ymail.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter at /you're on with Sean. Getting ahead of myself, aren't I? As well as Facebook page. And if you go to the Facebook page, you'll see that I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes things here as of late. So the only way you're going to see those things is if you go to our Facebook page. And if you know somebody that's having an up-and-coming birthday, or you yourself are fixing to have another yearly reminder that you're turning umpteen years young, drop us a line here at You're On, and we'll be sure to mention a birthday shout-out on the air. And speaking of birthdays, I have quite a few to mention right now. Happy belated birthday yesterday to Stephanie Usler. And I was informed if I didn't get her name right, Usler, I would be hung by my toenails while the chain would be removed from a chainsaw and replaced with chicken feathers, and I'd be tickled until I wet myself. So Stephanie Russell is easier to say. No, you just had to have the name Usler, didn't you? But happily married Usler. Happy birthday, Steph. And tonight, as we speak right now, this very minute, Cassandra Tenney is having a birthday. Happy birthday, Casey. Friday the 4th, Carrie Nash, in no relations to Kevin Nash. She's probably got 2 good working knees. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm referring to Kevin Nash's gimp knee who takes a step and breaks it. We'll celebrate her birthday. And finally, Monday on the 7th, the lovely Twyla Hammond will be celebrating her birthday. And everybody's got birthdays, and I just mentioned them all. And if I missed you, probably because you didn't get a hold of us. So happy birthday to you all.
So it's your birthday. It's my birthday too. Don't get it, okay?
Okay, quick reminder, kiddos, that our website is available to you online via the World Wide Web 24/7 with a podcast section on the site to hear this or any of the past episodes that we have. But if you're listening right now, you're the cool hipsters. Thank you, cool hipsters, for listening to this live stream. In action news from Thunder Alley, and I got to tell you that this is a Kobe-free zone. I'm tired of hearing about Kobe Bryant. Please tell me you guys saw Saturday's game against the Mavericks, a.k.a. the Durant buzzer beater. If you didn't, I have a YouTube video posted on our Facebook page, Way to Go 35, and to my main man Perkins, Thunder Up. Monday night's very late game wasn't much of a nail-biter, being up by 16 at the first half, but man, by the third, I was starting to get even more gray hairs than I already have now. And so much I was starting to resemble Peter Parker's boss, Jonah Jameson, because by the third quarter, in class, I got to tell you, this goes out to you parents out there. Only moms and dads will comprehend what I'm about to chirp in your lobes. But by the third quarter, I compare that to it being like your infant transitioning into a toddler and walking. You think your kid is about to fall. You do that run to catch them, and even if they don't fall, your heart's still in your throat. It kind of ranks up there. Well, let me put it to you this way, to you single people out there. It's kind of like that mini heart attack you have when you think you're about to go down a step and there's not one there. So rather than Dallas facing us, losing by 4, down 2-0, we faced the Mavericks to hand them yet again another butt whooping, being up 2-0 by 4. Now, I mentioned the game going late. This was for two different reasons, okay? The first was the 37 out of 39 free throws by the Thunder. Once again, way to go, guys. But this is why I'll watch college football as opposed to the NFL, because an OU game can go 3 hours, 3.5, whereas to the NFL, with way too many numerous timeouts, can go up to 4.5 hours. But I said there was two reasons why the game went out. The free throws is one of them, and the other one was the other one was Coach Carlisle. Rick! Oh, my gosh. Well, you guys get the idea. That was kind of my impression of Coach Carlisle at the game. Rick Carlisle's such a grimace. But I mentioned April showers with big many flowers, but this past month has been more like a hellfire and brimstone, half bringeth Mother Nature's BMS. But for now, weather outside is currently 84 at Huron Studio, dropping down to 82 overnight. Tomorrow is going to be high in the 91s, low in the 68s, Friday at 93. I am very happy and privileged and honored to introduce our very next guest. She comes to us from Enid, Oklahoma. She is a music therapist. Her and I have some great history. I can't say enough nice things about this wonderful person about to come on our studio and talk to us about music therapy. Without further ado, Elizabeth Allen is here on the show. Elizabeth.
Hi there, Sean.
Good evening and welcome to You're on Blog Talk Radio. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being on, Liz. I tell you, I could go on and on about the many attributes that you have achieved. But more importantly, I didn't really know much about music therapy, and that's why I'm bringing you here to our class to help enlighten us what exactly music therapy entails. Before we get into that, it's to my understanding you got your degree at Phillips University here in Enid.
Yes, my music therapy degree, yes.
And what exactly was your highlights while you was going to Phillips?
Well, the people, that kind of thing, and lots of performance opportunities. It's kind of a small town, so we had to make our own fun when we were in college. So lots of good memories.
Oh, well, who doesn't? The same could be said if we was in Northeastern State University in Tahlequah, and, of course, there were lots of things to do down there. So if you could, please entail us more about exactly what music therapy is.
Well, music therapy is the clinical use of music to help people on therapeutic goals. So, in other words, we figure out how to use music to help people on what it is they need to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it a little different than music education, where we're just there to teach people a certain way to play an instrument or something. We have to know what's wrong with people first and then help them with it.
Right. With this, I remember back in junior high, there was a friend of mine, Angel. She's probably listening right now. She did a research with, I believe it was either gerbils or hamsters, one of the two, and their reactions to music. Whereas to one was listening to classic, while the other was listening to heavy metal, and it did produce different behaviors. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, one of the things that music does is it tends to, when you listen to music, your body tends to entrain to whatever the beat is in the music. That's why we listen to different music when we're cleaning house, more upbeat, more energetic than the kind of music we listen to when we're trying to go to sleep at night, which would be slower. It's because our body rhythms, our heartbeat is affected by the sounds around us, by the music. So that's just one example. But there's lots of different ways music can affect you, and the other way, a big way, would be your feelings. It affects our feelings quite a bit.
You know, it's funny you would say that, because I myself am a big fan of Gorillaz. I've been a fan of them since 2000, when they came out with their first album. There's a certain song called Clint Eastwood that just, I don't know how to describe it. It touched me in a certain kind of way that no other song really has. And then they came out with another CD called Demon Days, and you hear a song like that, you know, people are thinking, oh gosh, you know, Sean's a devil worshipper or something like that. And that wasn't necessarily the case. There was a song on there, Don't Get Lost in Heaven. Same effect. Touched me just in a way that I can't even begin to describe. But there is one thing that I can say that comes close to it, to describing that feeling, and that is through the Selmatron. It's hard for me to put into words what these two songs by Gorillaz do for me until I was introduced to the Selmatron. So if you could tell our listeners out there exactly what a Selmatron is and what it does, because I tell you, if I could afford it, I guarantee this wouldn't be a studio I'd be sitting in. I'd have a Selmatron in here right now. So if you could let our listeners know exactly what a Selmatron is and how it works, because other than just saying it's awesome, that's not enough.